been staring off at this over here.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are pleased to be joined by former Husker assistant coach and local legend, Bill Busch. Coach, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great. It's so kind of you guys to have me on. Like I said, always enjoy watching this show every single week, and obviously having a history, obviously, with you, Michael, and then these two great players being around to be here on the staff to coach both of them, didn't coach them directly, but be on the staff with them is really, really cool. So thank you, State of Nebraska. Very cool to have me on.
Coach, I know both these gentlemen had a good time on Saturday, calling the game and doing other things during the game. What about you? Did you have a good time on Saturday?
Yes, it was. The energy and electricity was great. I'm not going to lie to you that I wasn't there. I've been to one game in my since I started coaching Division I football, 34 years of. I've been to one in the stands.
Wow.
And it really wasn't that great of an experience like that. So I kind of stay out of that. So I'm not anti-Nebraska. I watched it in my garage. That's where it was at. But it was fun to listen to the volume on the garage. You could tell what was going on, the difference. And we had this conversation a lot on the radio too. That is such an advantage. The volume is such an advantage for pass rushers, as Jay would talk about. When they're not sure when that ball's being snapped, you knew that was going to be a big factor, and the defense can really affect it. Because if you go back in the day, way back when, almost just a little bit pre-Jay also, there was times in the quarterback used to walk back
They called a penalty.
Hey, it's too loud. And they would go like this.
Yeah.
There's none of that anymore. And so the home crowd advantage and the fandom of Nebraska is a huge, huge, huge factor.
No doubt.
You've been in some electric environments as a coach. You gotta speak a little bit. Let the audience know what it's like to manage your emotions. Because I think sometimes people think, oh, it's electric and you get geared up. But sometimes managing those endorphins and kind of how you're like super fatigued after and just pacing yourself with the environment is difficult.
It really is. As a coach, you have to do it also. And, the big thing is always to keep the game the same. Make sure that your players don't get out early and don't do any extra warm-ups, because there's so much energy. You can't spend any energy except your warm-up from UTEP should be identical to Colorado. Mm-hmm. So all those things are so important. And then as a coach, too, not to do things emotionally, blitz emotionally, make a call emotionally for what's going on. So you want to kind of have yourself in this state of affairs in your mind. But it's also exciting. There's no doubt about it. It's like, you only get 12 guaranteed. So when you play in some of these atmospheres, it's really, really good. And that was a big-time atmosphere, not one that was a big-time atmosphere for the Midwest or for the Big Ten. That was a national big-time. I've been in all those venues in the SEC, and that one Saturday night was the same as what it is.
Similar as you've been in Nebraska history, the history with Colorado. Obviously, you've coached in this game many, many times back in the Big 12 when we were there. Same emotions getting ready for this game as well, though, because this game used to be on a Friday night or a Friday after Thanksgiving, but the emotions going into this game, because former Big 8 rivals, right? Big 12 North, approaching it the same way has to be kind of the same, like you talked about.
Exactly the same.
Right?
You just do detailed practice the same. Nothing's different. There's not a conversation. It's all about how do we stay as focused with what we have to say? And it's never like we're just going to get, we're going to be higher on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we're going to be higher, then we get to Saturday, we're going to explode. Yeah, you'll be able to take off when the ball's snapped on Saturday, when the foot hits the ball. But prior to that, it's just nothing about your normal preparation. It's hard. And don't think that for a second you don't know the difference of a game to be able to play it. There is. I've been on some staffs where it's very clear that it is different. Urban Meyer at Ohio State and at Utah, BYU game was different. The Michigan game was different. He said it out loud. And so it was a different type of thing. But you want to keep things in check. But it was, like I said, the players, in my mind, I didn't see any of it. I saw those guys laser focused. And so that goes back to Coach Rule and the staff having them ready to go.
Yeah. When you see a talent like Dylan Raiola, does it change the way you do the other facets of your game, knowing what you potentially have in a quarterback like that?
Everything you do on defense, or the coordinator, you're seeing what he's doing. And one of the things that stood out to me right away that would have concerned me instantly was his scramble, I think the first or second series for about a 15-yard gain. Because right away it's like, okay, he obviously has the ability to scramble, doesn't have a lot of those things on film. But once you saw that, it's like now there's escapability along with everything else. That's a high concern for a defensive coordinator when you're making your calls with what you're going to do. and have things to be able to change the picture in the back end of what's going on to show them a little different look in coverage-wise. But you're not going to have a lot of crazy looks against Nebraska because they can run the football, and they've got old guys up front, and I use the term mass kicks ass. So when they got those guys up front, they can do that. You're not sitting back in a lot of cover too high because of that. So that changes the different looks you can give him.
Getting that T-shirt made.
I was going to say, preparing for this offense because we didn't know what it was quite going to look like where I was being a true freshman, but very balanced so far. Nebraska's thrown, almost 240, averaging 240 through 2 games, 185 yards on the ground. We're trying to prepare for this type of offense from the defensive mentality. Talk us through that just with the young quarterback, but knowing the weapons he has around him, Dylan as well.
Multiple groupings are what cause you problems, which means you see the tight end of Fedoni, you see the tight ends break the formation, and they're back in the formation. And when you have different ways, and then in their run game, they have gap schemes, and then they have zone schemes, and they have different schemes that causes you problems. And so anytime when there's multiple tight ends can get back into the formation, and you can pull the Y or the U to get involved in the run fits, it's very, very difficult. It's one of the things that we've talked about on Colorado is what's not difficult is they're generally in a 10 picture, which means everyone's detached, and they don't pull anybody. And so the run game and the fits are very easy.
Yeah, right.
When there's pullers and gap schemes, and you ran all the counters at Nebraska, you ran all these things, and also there's no option at Colorado. So when there's no option football, also you're prepared for the old school Nebraska of all these gap schemes and option football. It was a wow all the time. So those things would stand out to you.
Yeah, they're pretty plain Jane. Mitch from Facebook says, your thoughts on the Big 12 officials and the job they did?
I said, I think I can say it on air, right?
Sure.
It wasn't very good.
Nobody's going to find you.
I'm in a group text with my good friends, Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple, and I said, I'm not sure if these guys will work again. Yeah. But I would say this, there was some both ways.
Yes, there was.
It wasn't 100% just, but if I'm a Nebraska fan, there's plays I saw that were very clear that were disturbing. There were some that went back the other way, too. So when the game was kind of over or it was going on, I didn't think that it was such an effect on the game with what was happening. But there was some calls that were very unusual on some holdings and some holds that were missed.
Bill, let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Imagine being a D coordinator where you can get home with 4 all the time and keep 7 back.
Isn't that fun?
Could you imagine?
Stuff. I saw Nebraska was playing bracket coverage one time, then a version of 2, and different things you can do in the back end. When you're doing that, and also, like I talked about, there is no escapability with Shedeur. And so when
he doesn't want to run,
so you can play 2-man, which is man under 2 over the top.
Middle of the field open. He's not going anywhere.
He's not taking off. When you play 2-man against somebody that runs, all of a sudden he can run for 40 yards. And so you had to change your pass rush up. So all those everything's in play now. It's like, you like this? I like this. How about this one? And so you get a chance to match up on their good receivers and be able to do that.
I think one of the things that's underappreciated, and you can speak to this, playing those 2 inside linebacker spots with just 3 with limited protection in space. 5 in the box, quarterbacks are taught to count. There's a lot of pressure on those insides to be very, very good athletes. You have to defend the limited run game, and you have to be able to play out in space, too, with just the 2.
It's very difficult, and most really good box teams, that's what you see. If they're short, ball's getting run.
Yeah.
That's just what's going on. If you're playing Colorado, you want to make them run it.
Yeah.
You want to do that. Also, if there's any form of zone read, you want to bend your ends like crazy and just see if Shedeur will keep the ball, and will he carry it 10 times? Because on his action, he doesn't show that he wants to keep the ball off the zone read. So you get to get the bender off the end to gain an extra hat on the ball.
Coach, real quick, you coach special teams. Thoughts on some of those issues on Saturday?
Well, yeah, like you said, with the issue, there was a couple issues. There was a kickoff that got out, and there was a block punt. I believe the block punt was against Safe, so I think it was a big body player that gets in there, and big body players are very hard to block because you're used to blocking less mass at that time. Then all of a sudden, when that bigger body gets in there, that's very difficult. I know. One of those examples, I have tons of examples on film where we would show that to the punt team and be able to say, wow, if they get these guys up here and these defensive linemen are now coming after the ball, it's a way different picture. And so that's something that has to be attacked. But like I said, it's a very difficult position to be a coordinator. Coach Rule has a great plan for right there. Coach Foley have a great plan. So they have the players to be able to fix everything they need to get fixed.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on again.
Absolutely. That was a lot of fun. Thanks.